Hey everybody, my name is Ceru-Bean and I'm back with another speed build again. This time we're building a cottage from Cottage Living because it just came out. Well, I'll be honest, this video is like super late because I just could not bring myself to do the voiceover for some reason, like just mentally could not do it. So Cottage Living came out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, by the time I'm recording this voiceover, and the build's been done for quite some time, and I've been playing in this house and with the whole cottage, gameplay stuff for a little bit now, and honestly I have been enjoying it like a lot so far. From what I've played of it, I didn't play too much, but yeah, I enjoyed what I played. I just love like the almost like off the grid kind of, like out, it's away from like the city and like all the hustle and bustle of normal life, you know what I mean? Like I love how much time consuming it is, which is kind of weird to say, but I love how time consuming it is to like take care of all your crops and your animals and stuff. I think it's really well done. So yeah, which is kind of surprising because like these past few packs that have been coming out have kind of been hitting the mark, at least for me personally. Like I wish I had like a counter for like how many days it's been since I still haven't played with Dreamhouse Decorator. I can't bring myself to do it for some reason. So I haven't experienced like any of that gameplay like at all. I have watched like YouTube videos, but that's honestly it. Yeah, the cottage living stuff is great, honestly. And even before it came out, I always liked the slower pace of like living and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And the build and buy is like really nice as well. The only thing I didn't really understand, so there's usually when they make new packs, sometimes when they make new packs, they'll add a new radio station. And so for this pack, it was the Cottage Core radio station. But like I listened to it and I was like, this isn't really cottage core to me. At least like I don't know. I guess it's different for everyone what they interpret cottage core music to sound like. But I don't know. It wasn't really getting me in the cottage living mood, if that makes any sense. Like when I think of like cottage core esque music, I'm thinking of like Bon Iver or like like some like acoustic folk music, like you're out in the middle of nowhere with your farm animals kind of music. But like the cottage core station in this game was like more, I don't know how to explain it, but they did have Julian Baker on it, which was made me very happy because I love her so much. And they had Faith Healer, which was the song that she had on there, which yeah, I was very, very happy about that. Does anyone else, like, since we're talking about radio stations and stuff, I always love listening to the alternative station. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like not teen music because I'm not a teenager, but like it's just like good music that I like personally. I don't know why it took so long to like come to that, whatever. But yeah, I really love the alternative station. Like I swear every time they add, because they add new songs, new packs that come out, they'll add it to like the same pre-existing station, and just every song that's on that station is just so amazing. And then the fact that they had Hayley Williams record Pressure in Simlish again, wow. Like sometimes I'll like go through like through the settings, you can see like all the songs listed and you can listen to them again. I just love like like clicking through the songs and listening to them. So the household I was playing with this pack, her name is Delaney, and she moved away from her parents' house, which was in Windenburg, and like she's already kind of accustomed to like the raising animals and plants and stuff kind of lifestyle, because you know she had a cow growing up who's I can't even remember the name of it. I think it was Belle. I think the cow that she grew up with was named Belle. And so she moved away from her parents' house into this house, and I started her off with just a hen and a rooster, and then you know they had the hatchable eggs and stuff, so it's kind of growing right now. And then she just has the one cow. Her name is Annabelle, I think. Honestly, I don't even come up with the names myself. I kind of just click on the name option, whatever first comes up. I just, you know, do that. I just go with it. I think the rooster's name is Ben. The hen's name is May. And then they had a chick, and I named him Nugget, which is funny, at least to me. It's kind of morbid if you think about it, because you know, chicken nugget, and then like I don't know, it's kind of dumb, but yeah. So she just started off with like, you know, a couple of animals, and then I didn't want to do anything like too extravagant, like using the 64 by 64 lot, because this video probably would have never gone up if I had done that. I can't be trusted with that much space. Like, there is no way. I think, yeah, the only time I've done a big lot like that was with the Bright Living apartments, which was huge. That was a lot of work for me. Yeah, I just chose. I had a hard time picking which lot I wanted to build on, because I think you only get like 3 options maybe of vacant lots that you can buy. And this one, there was already a house on it. I just bulldozed it and got rid of it. So I could start fresh. And then I think there's one, there's like a vacant lot in like each of the 3 little towns. And you know, now that I've played more of the Cottage Living pack, I still have the same feeling that it's just not enough lots, if that makes any sense. Like 12 isn't enough. It would have been nice if, you know, like if they had more than 12, like if Henford-on-Bagley had the same amount of lots that Windenburg has, which is like over 20, something like that. I think, you know, everyone would be able to have, all the towns would be able to have a home, and then you'd still have more space for like, maybe you want like a town center area where you have like a bunch of community lots and spaces. At least that's what I like to do personally. Or you could do like, you know, even more little neighborhoods and get creative with who lives there and stuff like that. I kind of talked about this already in my last video, so I don't want to repeat myself over again, but yeah. And I didn't struggle with this house at all. I've never built like a cottage before. I usually built like normal suburban homes or like community lots. Those are like my specialties. So I haven't really ventured too much into the lore of Henford. I figured like I'd naturally come upon it when I talk to like the townies, but I still don't I don't know like the story. And I kind of, when it first came out, I didn't want to watch any videos on it because I didn't want it to be, you know, spoiled before I even got a chance to play. And now that I've played, I kind of just don't care anymore. I kind of just wanted to know all the juicy details. Like who doesn't like who and what it's like. I remember seeing some stuff like on Twitter, I think, of like breakups or something, because some Sims had sentiments with one another or that kind of thing. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, even actually when I first started to play Henford, you know, the cottage save, I tried to my best to like build the save up before I started playing, just so that it's just hard to like get immersed into it for me personally. Like I had one sim that I wanted to play, and I can't even remember her name, but I wanted her to go through college, the university thing, and then she was roommates with Alex Moyer, and then I was gonna stream it, like I was gonna stream myself playing that household, but I just could not get into it, and it's just like so hard for me personally. There are some like families that I can like the Hasagawas. They just had so much substance to them already, and it's really crazy how one sim having a negative trait can like shake things up, so to speak. And actually I recently started playing them again, and it's been like it's so much fun, honestly. Like when The Sims is kind of like playing Dollhouse by yourself, in computer form, and so like the story really only exists in your head, and like trying to explain it to other people, you don't know if they're actually gonna like care or not, but it still matters a lot to you. That's kind of how I feel like when I talk to my parents about The Sims and stuff, and I go through this whole long storyline about my Sims and their life and stuff, and they're kind of just like sitting there like, oh, okay. But like it's entertaining to me, at least. But I say all that to say, like, the Hasagawas, I love the little story that I made up for them, and like I love how much, like, I honestly feel like the sentiment stuff really like changed the game, because not that there's consequences, so to speak, but there's like actions actually matter, I guess you could say. Like if my sim is rude to another sim, then they'll be feeling that her emotion for a really long time. Well, not a long time, but like for an extended period of time. And yeah, I really like the sentiments. The lifestyles, not so much. I wish I knew how to explain it. I think they should just rework the whole traits system. I like the way they did likes and dislikes. I really like that a lot, especially if you have wonderful whims and then you get the attractiveness likes and dislikes within that same UI. And I think that's so amazing, because I can just hit the randomize button and then like I don't even have to like spend time picking and choosing what my Sims like and things like, like that. I think, when I'm saying like they should rework traits, I'm mainly talking about like the vegetarian trait, or like the lactose intolerant trait. Like it kind of takes up the slots, you know what I mean? Like 1/3 of your Sim's personality is that they can't eat dairy products. Like that doesn't really make much sense. I really wish they would do like I think it was like Sims 2, or I think Sims 2 and 3 had like favorite food options. Like they had their own category for what foods they liked, and then I think that was a really good way to go about it, instead of just making that the trait. And I honestly feel like we should have more trait slots for Sims. At least that's what I think. I just think 3 is not enough, especially when all the traits kind of feel the same. Like I could have a cheerful Sim and a good Sim, and there's really no differentiation between them other than the moodlets they get when they're around certain Sims, or like whatever emotion they get every now and then. Like there's really not much of an impact on your Sim's overall personality, and I can tell that they're working on it, but yeah, I feel like they should add, like, I would love to have zodiacs back. I know some people like don't like astrology and stuff like that, but I think that'd be a really good addition, like for the people who actually want it and like care about it, like me. I did have a mod that was like you could have zodiacs, but they were traits, and it worked really well with the chemistry mod, which is a mod that basically like it kind of gives your Sims like a preference based on different Sims traits, like who they'll connect with more or not. Like there could be a Sim who's like they have a preference for people who are active and ambitious, And so when they meet Sims with those traits, they'll have a better chemistry, rather than if they dislike Sims that have like lazy or slob traits, then they'll automatically dislike them. I think it's a really good mod and it's really well done. And I think the astrology mod, when it did work, it worked really well with that, because it could be like, you could have Sims, I mean, it wasn't accurate to like actual astrology, but it was funny seeing like my whatever Sim doesn't like this other sign Sim. And also another one is like that's similar to the chemistry mod. Is it First Impressions by Lumpy New? I honestly feel like all of Lumpy New's mods are like 10 out of 10, honestly. Like the Road to Romance, Open Love Life, Woohoo Wellness, I think, is another one of his. The only one I don't have is Talents and Weaknesses. I'm sure it'd be nice, but I don't really have much of a use for it. I love how this like somehow turned into a discussion about my favorite mods. I mean, I would make a video about all my favorite gameplay mods, but I feel like it's been done so many times. Like, I'm sure everyone already knows like all the mods that they like. There's like a million videos on it. I'm not really on YouTube that much, if I'm honest. Even though I like make YouTube videos, I don't really watch YouTube myself personally. Lately, I've been binge watching Kitchen Nightmares, which is what I was watching when I was building this house, like the whole time. And luckily, like my screen only captures my game, because you probably see like a tiny little window of Kitchen Nightmares and Gordon Ramsay just yelling at all the restaurant owners. But like, I was honestly obsessed with that show. It was like all that I would watch, because it's the only show, like the only time I watch TV shows is if it's like the same show I've already seen like 10,000 times. Like, I've rewatched Futurama, The Office, there's another one I'm forgetting. Oh, Community. But I rewatch shows like that, like every single episode, every season. Like, oh, like I just have to like, those are like the only shows that are like in my circulation. I don't really watch anything new. And it's mostly because like the shows nowadays are just so cliche and predictable. Like, everything's already been done before, and now a bunch of people are making like remakes and nothing new. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of frustrating, at least for me, because I'm like I'm really picky about that kind of thing. And the same goes for like books. Like, it takes so long for me to find like a good book that I want to read. I think that's why I haven't read a book, and I've been on the campus library, because I would go in between classes. I think the last like really good book that I read was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I think that's their name. If you haven't read it before, or if you haven't heard of it, I would definitely recommend it. It's like just so beautifully written, especially if you love really descriptive or like metaphor, like extended metaphor kind of writing. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but in this like I don't want to give too much away, but it's very centered around art and things like that. And so I personally, like, when I read, I can like visually see like the words, like it's like a movie in my head basically. So reading authors that are like very descriptive in their writing and storytelling is like, just because it's just like a really enjoyable experience. And then while I was reading the book, I was actually in the art building in the mornings. It was a really enjoyable experience. But yeah, that's a really good book. I had a Goodreads account, but I haven't logged into in like so long. Like, I just go through phases where I do stuff and then I don't do it ever again. Like, I would read, like, not read, I would watch, what is it called, booktube, I guess, like YouTube channels about books and stuff. I can't even name any YouTubers off the top of my head, but I would watch those videos like all the time. And I would low-key be kind of jealous, because they'd be like reading, I read like 30 books this month, and I'm like, wow, I want to get on that level. But I can't stand reading a bad book. And surprisingly, we're like actually nearing the end of the video. We're not like halfway through like usual, but thank you if you watched this far and heard me rambling about literally nothing important or pertaining to the build whatsoever. I do have another build coming up soon-ish. I know it's usually like a month. It takes me a month to make a video, which, yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.